Okay. Uh, Welcome to the SQL Brain sessions. First, we'll understand what is the use of databases. Then we will understand what is the use of SQL. And then we will have practical sessions going forward in our upcoming sessions. But first, we need to understand why do we need databases and what is a databases. So database, basically it is used to store the data, any organization data, because every organization has its own database. And database is designed to store the data related to the organization. It can be small data or it can be large amounts of data in a structured format. And once the data is stored in a database, you can retrieve the data, you can update the data, and we can insert the new data. And that the data within the databases is always secure and reliable. And any number of users can connect to the same data and they can work with the same data simultaneously at the same time. You can ask me why you don't store the data in file systems like Excel. We can store the data, but can you access the same Excel by hundreds of users? Hundreds of users cannot work on the same Excel data at the same point of time. Also, you cannot store multiple objects data in a Excel. Even though you can store, but you cannot merge the data. So file systems always has a huge set of drawbacks. So the reason is that databases are invented. And data, once it is stored in a database, any number of users can connect with the data, and every data within an organization can interact with other data as well. And we will see what is database. A database is nothing but it is a place where a data is stored in a structured, organized way, so that any users, they can access the data, they can manage the data, and they can update the data whenever they need the data. And when databases are invented, people started using the database, and companies like Microsoft, the Sun Microsystems, IBM, they created their own databases. Like now, the OpenAI, they created the ChatGPT. And then Anthropic, they created the Claude. And we have Perplexity, and Google has their own chat LLM engine. Like that, every company is coming up with their own LLM models, right? So in earlier days, many companies, they created their own databases. Some databases are free, some databases are licensed. So it is up to any organization which database should be used for the project purpose. And within a database, data is always stored in the form of rows and columns and in the form of a table. So table is the basic entity. It is a place where your data is being captured and stored. So any kind of data, it can be a physical object data, or it can be logical object data, it can be transactional data, it can be your day-to-day activities data. Any data, it can be stored within a database. So for example, you can store, if you are creating a database for college, you can store the student data, you can store the table for attendance, you can store the data, table for your classes, you can store the data for any ongoing activities like library management system. So databases, primary objective is to store the data in a secured way by following some principles. Then we understood the database, then why do we need SQL? So SQL is a language, and it is not only a language, it is a query language. And what kind of query language it is? It is a structured query language. You need to write that language in a structured format. You may do some grammatical mistakes when you are speaking, but if you do one mistake while writing the SQL query, it won't work. So you should write an SQL query in a same way on any database. That is the reason once you learn the SQL, you will not forget in your lives. Because the structure is same. The SQL structure is same even 20 years back, and it will be the same after 20 years later. So it is a language which is used to communicate with the data. In our day-to-day life, we need the language to communicate with the data, with others, right? So if you don't know the language, you cannot communicate with the others. Similarly, you need a language to communicate with the database, and that is SQL. Similarly, you have languages like C, C++, Java, these languages that are used to communicate with end users using some programming languages, using some UI. So if you want to perform any operation on a database, you need SQL. For any small activity to the larger activity. For example, to create the database, you need a SQL query. To insert the data into a table, you need a SQL query. To read the data from a table, you need a SQL query. So without a SQL query, you cannot push data inside the database, and you cannot bring the data outside the database, and you cannot update the data which is there within the database. And every database, whenever you install in a system, and that server will be installed, and that server, as long as the server runs, database always listens a collections from outside. From outside, tools like any Oracle SQL developer tool, SSMS tool from SQL Server, you can fire SQL queries to that database server where it has databases internally, and it provides the data to the external world. Right? So databases are used to store the data in a tables. One database can have any number of tables which are connected to each other. For example, the employee data connected to the data, department data, because every employee works in a department. So tables will always connect with each other using some principles that we are going to learn in our future sessions. And once the data is stored inside the databases, to read the data, to insert the data, to update the data, to delete the data, we need an SQL. And to alter the data, we need an SQL. So SQL is a language for the databases. It is like as I mentioned, it is like English language to communicate with others. It is a SQL language that is used to communicate with a database. And as I mentioned, there are so many databases in the IT industry now. There are more than 200 databases, and out of them I have given a few of them. Oracle is from some Microsystems, and SQL Server is from Microsoft. MySQL is from same organization of Oracle. Then PostgreSQL is an open source a database. And Snowflake nowadays it is getting more popular, so it is one of the database. But they're all relational. That means the data within those databases will be stored in the form of tables, because table, it is a relation. When I say object, it is a table. When I say table, it is a table. When I say relation, it is a table. When I say entity, it is a table. So database stores the data within the tables. Without tables, they can't store the data in any the format. We are going to see that in our future sessions. So once the data is stored within the databases, you need a client to file queries to that database server. So one database server can store any number of databases. And one client tool can connect to the database server, or can connect to the database, and you can perform the activities. Client always sends query. Server takes that query, it processes that query, and it provides response to the client. So it's the client server architecture, so you need a client to communicate with the database server. So every database vendor, they provided their own clients. So if the database is installed within your system, or if it is somewhere, you can also use your command line, which is there by default in your system, to connect to the database and to query the data. So SQL Server Management Studio, it is also called as a system mesh, which is used, this is a client to connect to the SQL Server, which may be running in your local system, or it can be running on the cloud. So you can use this tool to connect to the cloud database or any database server, and you can work with the data. Say MySQL Workbench that is used to connect to the MySQL database. You have PostgreSQL PG admin tool, which is used to connect to the PostgreSQL database. And you have Oracle SQL Developer that is used to connect to the Oracle. And you have many programming languages in the world. From that programming languages using either JDBC or ODBC, you can connect to the databases. And you have so many clients like that. For example, you can connect to the database using your Visual Code. You can connect to the database using the tools like Power BI or Tableau. You can connect to the database using Informatica, ETL tools like Informatica or any tool, SSIS or any AWS, Glue or Data Factory, Databricks. You can connect to the databases from any third-party programming languages or third-party tools as well. So you need a client to connect to the server, and databases will be there within the server. So SQL can be used to query systems like databases, and not only to the databases, you can also use SQL to query some file system, modern file systems like Azure ADLS, Azure Data Lake Storage, Gen 1 and Gen 2, and you can query the S3 bucket of your AWS. You can query, you can use SQL, same SQL, whatever you are going to learn, you can use the same SQL because the syntax is same to query the data warehouse systems, databases like Snowflake and Redshift. You can use the SQL to query the data which is in Databricks or Apache Spark. You can use the SQL to query the Hadoop database. We can use the SQL to query the streaming data. And you can use the SQL in many more places. So you learn SQL, you can able to perform so many activities. Right. So as I mentioned, data engineers use SQL to query the data and to see what is going on inside the databases. Database developers use the SQL to perform day-to-day activities. Database administrators use the SQL to perform their administrative activities. The programming developers use SQL to integrate this SQL to keep that SQL within their program and to push the data to the databases. So SQL is mandated for each and everyone who are serving the IT industry. So that we are going to learn. So this is the introduction about the databases and the SQL. In the next session, we will see some how the database server and client architecture works. Thank you, guys.